What is up, guys? We are back, and I'm here to recap my weekend at Villains and Vixens because it was truly a spectacular weekend and such a great event, and I have only good things to say about it. So while I tell you about this event, let's grab a beer. So I have a Kolsch from Prost Brewing in Colorado. I love a Kolsch, so I'm very excited for this, and I also have not eaten today, so I definitely need a light beer. This is what she looks like in my fun little glass. This glows in the dark, by the way. Super cool. Smells like a beer. I'm excited. Cheers. Oh, fuck. That is so refreshing and crisp. And God, I just love a Kolsch, guys. I love a Kolsch. But let's get into this. I've also got Ferb, my lovely assistant, here today. So in case you were wondering, the green tentacle's name is Ferb. As some of you know, I have different colors. I have yet to name some of them, so leave some names in the comments. So I actually stayed in Texas for a few extra days because my bestie Liz lives there and I was staying with her. So we had some extra bestie time, which was amazing because I got to go to medieval times for my first time. It was so fun, you guys. If you are near a medieval times or if you're traveling and you're near one, go. It's expensive, but so worth it. We didn't even do the highest tier. It was so worth it. I definitely wish the night we went there were more people so I could really get the vibe. But oh my god, so fun. If you are a Ren Fair person, it was so fun. And we dressed up. Not everyone dresses up, but some other people also did. Would recommend dressing up. I mean, I'm always for dressing up. Always. Even if you don't have an excuse. I mean, like, why not? You know, we have free will. So... But I got to go to medieval times and I got to see Ray for the first time. Ray and I have been mutuals for a while. We have a lot of mutual friends and they are down in California. They are an author and we have spoken a lot. And we've been wanting to meet and all this. And then they got added to the Villains and Vixen list late. And I was like, oh my God, we get to meet. And then we got to meet even earlier at medieval times. I literally turned around and they turned around and we just jaw dropped, slow motion hugged. We were like, oh my god, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? So we didn't think we were going to see each other until the next day because this was on Thursday and everything didn't start until Friday. So it was so fun. We weren't on the same team, but we were allies. So that was just an added bonus. And this week had already started off great, but also then took sort of a downhill because I started my period, but I knew I was going to start my period, so it was fine. But then, so I got to meet Ray. I got to meet their friend and assistant, M, who is lovely. And I was just like, wow, I love this. And when we signed in for medieval times, they were like, cool, you're front row. I was like, I get to experience this for the first time from the front row. I'm so excited. Don't worry, a full video about medieval times will be coming. I just need to gush about it for a second, even though I said this was about Villains and Vixens, but I gotta set the scene for you guys. So we're there having a good time, chatting with our neighbors who were British. They were having a great time. So I end up ordering a fun beer. I got one of the big Stein mugs, to no one's shock. And girl who placed our order isn't the one that brought the beer. So I end up getting a regular beer cup. And my friend kind of looked at me because she had paid. And she was like, there's no way 2 beers were $40-something. That's crazy. So next time the girl who did our order, my friend asked, she was like, hey, wasn't she supposed to get the cup? And she was like, oh my god, no, she was. Us thinking she's just going to go get the cup and bring it to me. No, she brings me this Stein glass. You guys, it's a Stein, it's like a liter glass full of beer. She gave me a free beer. Not even a 16 ounce though. It's 20 something ounces. I think it was more than 20 ounces. I think it was close to 30 or 40 ounces. And she sets it down and I'm like, thank you. Me and my friend look at each other. I was like, well, I wasn't planning on having 2 beers, but apparently I am. So we got front row. I got to meet a friend already and free beer. So we're off to a great start. So that's how my weekend started on the Thursday. So then comes Friday. We had already done our registration on Thursday so that we got our swag bags, which I have a video of that on my Instagram and my TikTok of what everything was in our influencer bags. Honestly, it wasn't even everything because there was so much stuff. I left out some of the artwork just because there was so much. They truly spoiled the influencers with their swag bags. We got 3 free books. That was crazy. I was genuinely shocked. We got a shot glass. We got a cute little hangover kit with scrunchies, liquid IV, face masks. And even on top of that, there were other authors that donated face masks and eye patches and all these amazing things. Literally, I haven't been an influencer for a lot of events, but easily the best swag bag I've ever gotten. Like, that was insane how much stuff we got. Friday, it started at 9. There was a 9 to 12 session for influencers and white shoes. We got 3 hours, and there was about 500 people, I believe. It was so nice, not super crowded. The aisleways between everything were huge. So much room for carts, perfect for anyone that's ADA, that had a wheelchair or a walker or anything. I immediately went to all my faves that I hadn't got to meet. I got to meet Ali Shante. I got to meet Kate King, who these two authors I have DM'd with a lot. And I was so excited to finally get to meet them and like yap with them for a bit. Because obviously I'm not trying to take up too much time in anyone's like space. We'll say when me and my friend got there, we immediately went to Ruby Dixon's line to get bracelets because we knew that line was going to be long. And we got in fairly soon. We were like fairly at the end of the line getting in, but our tickets were already in like the high 100s. We were like, got it. We got to wait a while. Actually, we did meet Ruby. She was absolutely lovely, and she loved my tote bag that I was wearing, which is some of my merch, and it's like this tote bag. I'll put it somewhere here. And she was like, oh my God, I love your tote bag. And I told her it was from my shop. She's like, oh my God, you're going to have to send it to me. And I was like, I'm sorry, Ruby, what? I have yet to send it to her because I feel so annoying doing that. Even though she said to do that, but I don't know if she remembers she said that. Anyways, if you guys like aliens, I have alien merch in my shop, along with obviously my spicy book club member. Anyways, beside the point. On top of obviously meeting all these awesome authors, I got to meet some of my mutuals IRL. So excited. I got to meet Miss Aubrey, Maylene, and these are just first day meetings. I finally got to meet Rika and KB and Shelby, and I just like, these women are just absolutely fantastic people, and it was so nice getting to see them in person, and there was no awkwardness. And it's one of my favorite things about the book community is we can chat in our DMs and whatever, but as soon as we meet in real life, it's like we didn't start being friends on the internet. Not that that's a weird thing, but it's not like, oh, we've been chatting online. There's no awkwardness. It's like we've been besties forever. After that 9 to 12 section, there was a 2-hour lunch, which was amazing. There was no signings, no panels, nothing going on for 2 hours, which was so nice. My friend ended up going to go get lunch, obviously, because it's like, we're going to be here all day. So I'm like, yeah, we need food. So we ended up going to eat, and then we went back in there because at that point, that's about when we got to meet Ruby. We kind of walked around a little bit more, whatever. And then there was a panel I wanted to go to at 4:00. And other book conventions I've been to, people are lining up for panels. So I was like, I want to make sure I'm there. And I'm close-ish, as close as I can get to the front. And it was a white shoes panel. No one is surprised that I wanted to be very close for that one. So we went up there. And at this point, my friend Jen ended up going back to her hotel just so she could chill out before the pajama party later. But I was like fine with hanging out. My friend Liz, who had also left actually earlier in the day to go deal with some stuff at home, she was just going to bring my pajamas. I was like, I'll just change there. I don't mind. I got to meet up with Maylene and Brooke and all these other girlies that I got to meet. And we went to the White Shoes panel. Which obviously had my girl Kate King there, and it was such a fun, silly, goofy panel. Like, if you're a White Shoes girly, definitely read any of these authors. There's also new to me authors now that were on this panel that I was like, I did not know that you wrote White Shoes. Added to my TBR, which that thing is never ending, as we all know. Lasted about 45 minutes or so that started at 4, ended about 4:45. Pajama party early entry didn't start until about 6, and I wasn't planning on going anywhere, so I just hung out around the hotel, just chit-chatted with people, waited for my friend to bring my pajamas so I could change, which I only had like an hour or so I was able to actually go through some of my content and whatnot. And then the pajama party started. Obviously, I was wearing a Halloween outfit during the day, so obviously the pajamas had to be Halloween. The matching pajamas I had, and I didn't want to buy new ones, so this is what we went with, and it was a hit. Everyone loved it, and it worked because I was wearing a Halloween outfit during the day, so everything still matched. It was great. And this event was sponsored by none other than Miss Ruby Dixon. There were cookies, there was an ice cream bar, there were cocktails, there was beer. Obviously had to try one of the cocktails. I tried this one, and it was Midori and Prosecco. So good. if y'all know me, I love Prosecco. I know I'm a beer girly, but light beers is like Prosecco, essentially, for me. There's live narration by a lot of big narrators. They were reading scenes from books of the authors that were there. But it was just really nice to like wind down after the day and just kind of hang out and chit chat with everyone there. And then we have Saturday. So Saturday we ended up getting there early because there was a monster romance panel. As we know, that's one of my faves. So obviously I was like, we need to be there before 10 o'clock. Because like I said, I thought people were going to be lining up for these panels, and they were not. I was so surprised. Being first in line for the monster panel, and oh my god, starting my day off with a monster panel was just perfection. Everyone was hilarious. Vera Valentine walked in her Kool-Aid Man outfit. Absolutely hilarious. Went back down to talk to some more authors. I ended up bringing my free books that I got in to get signed and to meet these authors, because two of them I did not know. So I went to go chat with them, see what their book was about. And then I think we ended up leaving a little early on Saturday, just before the after party, so we could like just kind of chill out and then get ready and whatnot and eat dinner. And then it was time for the after party, which was kind of a club vibe, but also you could essentially just wear whatever you wanted. They had popcorn, they had cake pops, of course they had drinks. I ended up not having any drinks just because I had a flight at 6 a.m. the next day, and we were already going to leave the after party early because I had to be at the airport so early. But seeing everyone dressed up and being able to say those last goodbyes and everything, it was so well done. Truly, this was such a good event, and the amount of people I talked to, like I was always checking in with authors and volunteers and even other attendees and other influencers of like, hey, how's the event going for you? Are you doing okay? Do you need anything? And everyone was so impressed with how well the event went, because this is the first year of Villains and Vixens, and so many people were like, wait, this is their first year? I thought this had been going on and I had just missed it. And that is how well this event went, is that people thought this had been going on for 2, 3, 5 years because of how well this event went. Any hiccups that happened were fixed so fast that you didn't even realize that there was an issue. So a huge shout out to all of the volunteers that were at this event. There were so many, and they were everywhere and were so helpful and so ready to help and also chat about authors and book stuff. And they were every volunteer I talked to was so lovely and wonderful. They really got some of the best volunteers. And also shout out to Ashley and Bree, who ran the event and everything. They were so lovely and truly ran an amazing event. And as an influencer, I had a fantastic time meeting authors, attendees, the volunteers, everyone. I had a fantastic time. And I would happily influence for Villains and Vixens again. And if they do end up doing this next year, I would highly recommend going. Because I can't imagine, with how well this went, who they're going to be able to get next year for authors and vendors. I think my only con about this event is I wish there were more actual like vendors, like bookish vendors, or like vendors in general. There were a lot of authors, which was amazing, but just not a lot of vendors. So, but even then, there were still quite a few. But yeah, I had such a fantastic weekend. It was such a good time. Everyone was so lovely and amazing, and I could not recommend this event more. If you're thinking about going next year, if they do it next year, go ahead and follow Villains and Vixens on Instagram, and Ashley and Bree, if you want to have me back, I will happily come back. Well, this was a first type of video for me. If you guys like me doing these kind of recap things, because I have other book events I'm going to, or I have been to, that I haven't done recaps on, let me know if this is something you like. I will happily make more. Of course, as always, if you like this video, go ahead and like it, comment on it, subscribe to the channel, and you guys will see me with a beer next time.